Good day, everyone. I am Mary Flor Bigoso, and I will be your teacher for today.
At the end of the lesson, the students must first identify and differentiate the characteristics of textile, prints, painting, sculpture, installation, architecture, and films as forms of nationalistic visual arts in the Philippines and selected Southeast Asian countries. Appreciate the cultural and nationalistic significance reflected in textiles, paintings, sculptures, architecture, installations, and films through active participation in discussion. Create a visual artwork inspired by nationalistic themes using techniques applied in painting, printmaking, textile design, sculpture, or film concept development.
Before we proceed to our lesson, let us all stand. Marla, please lead the prayer. Okay, class, you may now take your seat. So now, I will be going to check for attendance. As I call your name, please raise your hand and say, present.
Motivation entitled Art Snap Challenge. So the class will be divided into groups. Each group will receive a picture of a Southeast Asian visual art. Within 2 minutes, identify the type of art and the culture or country it represents. Afterwards, each group will represent or present their answers before the class. Enjoy!
Let us now proceed to the group activity. So each group receives a sample visuals showing different art forms. So the class should classify the artworks according to art form, identify traditional or cultural elements seen in each work. So create a quick group poster showing one chosen art form and its unique characteristics. Question: what characteristics make each artwork unique? How do these artworks reflect culture's identity? What similarities and differences can you observe among Philippine and Southeast Asian visual arts? How do films also serve as visual art and cultural expression? Class, visual arts are creative expressions that reflect our culture, identity, traditions, and even nationalism. So different art forms show the beliefs, stories, and way of life of people from different countries and communities. So first is textile art. These are fabrics with traditional patterns and designs like batik and woven clothes. So textiles are important because they represent the heritage, beliefs, and identity of a community. For example, in the Philippines, Tinabel and Talak fabrics show the creativity and traditions of Filipino people. So second we have is the printmaking or prints. So these are artworks created using techniques like woodcut or needle cut printing. Artists use printmaking to express stories, social issues, and cultural themes. For example, an artist may create a print showing environmental problems or Filipino traditions. Third is painting. Painting uses colors, lines, and shapes to express emotions, ideas, and traditions. So paintings can show historical events, cultural practices, or modern life. Example: a painting of festivals, farmers, or historical heroes reflects culture and identity. The fourth one is sculpture. Sculpture are three-dimensional artworks made from clay, wood, metal, and stone. Sculptures often represent people, beliefs, heroes, or cultural symbols. For example, the monuments we see in parks are examples of sculpture. Right. Next, we have the installation art. This is a modern art form where artists arrange materials in a space to create a meaning or experience. It allows viewers to interact and feel the message of the artwork. Example: an installation using recycled materials may promote environmental awareness. Let us proceed to the architecture, the sixth. So architecture refers to buildings and structures with artistic and cultural designs. These structures refers to the identity and history of a place. So there are a lot of examples, but churches, ancestral homes, temples, and modern buildings are examples, or some examples of architecture. Lastly, we have the films. Films combine storytelling, visuals, music, and culture. So movies can show traditions, national identity, and social issues. So for example, Filipino film often show family values, culture, and real-life experiences. Question: what makes these art forms similar or different? How do these art forms reflect culture and identity? How do traditional arts influence modern visual arts today? So class, visual arts are not only for decoration or entertainment. They help preserve culture, express emotions and ideas, and show the identity of people and nations. Okay, so using what you learned about traditional and contemporary visual arts, create an artwork that combines a traditional Southeast Asian motif with a modern style.
What traditional motif did you choose? Okay, so how did you make it contemporary? What cultural meaning does your artwork show? Okay, very good.
form of visual arts that reflect our cultural identity and diversity. So these art forms preserve traditions while adapting to modern techniques, showing that art is both heritage